lucky number 7. Who's answering? Who's asking me this question? Zero Score! Zero Score is asking me lucky number 7. Would you actually ask me the same question twice, but because you asked it in a previous video and then you asked it in another video. So let's just go with what we have here. So question number 1. Wait, didn't you already do a Q&A? I thought I sent you a question at one point. You didn't. This is true. I actually had said I was going to do a Q&A, and you sent me that question before. I didn't actually record anything because I was collecting questions, and now we have what's going on here. So your actual question that you sent before was, what happened to the first 426 metal blades? The answer to that is actually quite simple. Once upon a time, in a galaxy far, far away, there was an evil scientist who thought that he'd be able to create a species of creatures that would cause mass chaos and anarchy throughout the entire universe. He did many, many experiments in order to come up with all of these different creations. 426 experiments later, each one fail after fail after fail, his 427th try produced what you see before you now. However, I escaped captivity and made my way to Earth, where I learned the value of family and friendship, and then learned that my evil ways could be redirected into something more useful, and that would be entertaining all of you guys. As far as what happened to my brethren, the 426 other ones, they have been freeze-dried into these little gumball-like machines and are held inside of a stasis tube, maybe to be awoken one day, pending they fall onto some place with a lot of water around it. I drew up a lot of pictures there in order to animate my story, so you can kind of get an idea of where it is I'm pulling that from. If you don't know, here it is. Favorite Disney movie ever, by the way. There's a bonus fact for me. Zero Score also asks, how many hats do you own? Yeah, it's a little bit of mine that I like to collect hats. Hats are like one of my favorite things that I have because, you know, I'm a balding type of guy. My hair kind of goes away and whatnot, and then I'll buzz it off and be completely bald from time to time. But I just love the way hats feel around my head. It keeps me warm, it keeps me secure, and everything like that. As far as how many do I own, I think I'm somewhere in the 30s right now, maybe 40s, depending on, the type of hat you're talking about, more than just baseball cap. I have, beanies and various other caps and everything. But I do have one particular hat that I want to show you guys that is my pride and joy of my collection. So, let me find that. Hold on. My 1994 World Blockbuster Video Game Championship cap. I ranked, I want to say 5th in my hometown as far as this contest is concerned. This was either the second or the third one that they did, and it was really cool. I remember I played Judge Dredd, I played NBA Jam, and I can't remember what the third game was that I played. I think it was Clay Fighter or something like that. And you go to your Blockbusters and you play those games for them, and they take down your score, and whoever has a better score wins, and you go on to the Grand Championship or whatever. Ranking where I did in my town, I ended up getting 20 free game rentals. So I was ecstatically happy over that. Unfortunately, I think one of my free game rentals was Resident Evil Survivor, unfortunately. Favorite hat out of my giant collection. And all my other hats are pretty much ones that look like this, or other versions of the golfing hats and everything, just different designs. So nothing too off the wall crazy, but that's my special hat. I like that one. So thank you, Zero. I hope that answers your questions. I had 13 people ask me questions in this whole thing. We're 7 down, so we're a little bit more than halfway. The next question comes from Noff258. Noff? Schnarf? He asks a series of questions as well, and it looks like they're very Battle Network related, which is really nice. Number 1, will you do more Battle Network games? I would like to do more Battle Network games. I do plan on doing Battle Network 3 at some point, so don't worry, it is going to be appearing on my channel. Maybe I'll do it this year. Hopefully, if things go the way I want it to, I should be able to do it this year, so that's the hope and prayer. What's the hardest part you did on any game? I've been playing a lot of Mario Maker lately, so everything about that game is the hardest part I've done on any game. As far as the past goes and everything, different sections and different retro games I've played, just gotta check out the Retro Rage Play, and you're gonna see so many different parts that I got just stuck on, and difficult ways for me to get through and everything along that ways. It's hard to pick one really difficult section because there's just so many of them out there. And I do try to go back and replay them in order to get past those tough parts, Question number 3. Which side will you be in Battle Network 3, 4, 5, and 6? When these were released, for those of you that don't know, they were released in 2 separate versions. Kind of like how Pokemon has red and blue, gold and silver, leaf green, fire red, things like that. Battle Network 3 had blue and white. Absolutely white, because I love ground style. That would probably be the version I play in my LP. You don't get to fight the secret boss in the white version compared to blue, which really sucks, but absolutely white. Battle Network 4 was a little bit different. That's when it introduced the soul changes, and there was a Metal Soul in it, where Mega Man fused with Metal Man. So I picked blue because of Metal Soul, but my play style was very heavily based off the Fire and Thunder, and that was all in red. So that's kind of a toss-up. It's a hard one to choose, because I wanted Metal Soul, but it had the styles that I wasn't used to. So maybe if I played it again, I'd be red, just to have Gut Soul, Roll Soul, Fire Soul, things like that, but Metal Soul is just so cool. Battle Network 5, Proto Soul for the win. Mega Man fusing with Proto Man, giving him the ability to do ×2 sword damage, plus a step sword ability, was broken as hell. I beat the crap out of everybody with that. Loved it to no end, so Proto Team 14, Battle Network 5, absolutely hands down. And Battle Network 6 was Gregor, because again, it's my play style. You had Beast Gregor and Beast Falzer, which Beast Gregor was a dog and Falzer was a bird. And just besides the souls being my type, because Gregor had like all the fire ones and Falzer had like water and wood, Gregor was more offensive, where Falzer was more strategy based. So Gregor all the way. And then number 4, any hard game or stage you hate a lot. Again, question number 2. Mario Maker. Every stage that I've played on that has just been so ridiculously difficult for me to play through or get through and whatnot. But you know what? I'm actually, the thing that just popped through my head right now to actually answer your question for a little bit different than 2. You guys know the Jak and Daxter series? Jak 2. Jak 2 was a game that I can actually legitimately say I broke one of my controllers on, because some of those missions are so freaking unfair that it is frustrating, it is rage-inducing, and it is just... I threw my controller literally across the room, and if you shook it, you could hear the insides rattle around, and the controller, like, completely shattered on me and everything. That I'll never play for you guys, because that particular one that I'm thinking of doesn't happen until much later in the game, but I did beat Jak 2, I did beat the whole thing, but once was enough for me. And there you go, that's a little bit different of an answer. So Jak 2, and even a little bit of Jak 3. Jak and Daxter, the first one, excellent game. After that, they can all go to hell. Number 9. King Bombbeard, my buddy. Alright, I'm going to actually rearrange my camera, because I answered his entire question set with my camera facing this way. So, gotta fix that for the King's questions. Okay, I'm centered now. Very good. Okay. So, King Bombbeard, your questions are, number 1, what is your favorite robot master in the Mega Man series? Not counting Metal Man, because he's so cool. Just the robot doctor, and the fact that he's weak against his own weapon is just absolutely hysterical. What would be my favorite robot master? I gotta sit here and think about this one. Gotta go through each one of them one by one and actually kind of think about what would be my favorite. Again, I mentioned this before. It's like asking a parent choosing her favorite child. Who would be my favorite? Oh, man. Okay, so the way I'm going to answer this question is shifting my camera once again. This is where you guys can see an image over here. I am going to go through each one of the Mega Man games, and I'm going to tell you my favorite robot master from each game. Mega Man 1 would probably be Elec Man or Bomb Man. This is kind of there's going to be a lot of ties going on here. Mega Man 2, Metal Man or Quick Man. Both of them are freaking awesome. I love Quick Man stage, and of course Metal Man. Mega Man 3, Snake Man, because I love the robot animal-themed guys, and he was the first one, so Snake Man is absolutely my favorite. Probably Shadow Man and Magnet Man, that's tying for close seconds. Mega Man 4, Skull Man, because he's a freaking skull and his stage is absolutely amazing. After that, probably Pharaoh Man. Mega Man 5, I wasn't a big fan of really anybody in Mega Man 5, but if I had to choose, it'd probably be Napalm Man, however you want to pronounce his name, just because he looked really cool. Mega Man 6 Nightman or Yamato Man, I haven't really played too much of 6, so I can't really give a full, like, you know, insight about it, but as far as actual design goes and everything, I like Nightman and Yamato Man from that. Mega Man 7, yeah, see, I've played this one as well. Probably Shade Man, because he just looks so cool, and Turbo Man, because he has, like, the transformation to him, because he transforms into a car and run you over and everything, but a lot of fun. Like, that's a good game. That's a really good game. Or Duo. Duo was, like, the special one, and that's where Bass comes in. You can include him as well. Mega Man 8. Swordman is awesome, and that also is introduction of Tengu Man, both of which are awesome robot masters. Question number 2 from the Bumbeard. What is your favorite Pokemon if you have one? That's easy. Eevee. Eevee is hands down my favorite Pokemon. And it's probably because it has a lot of, like, Mega Man qualities to it. And let me explain what I mean by that. As far as classes go, in gaming-wise and everything, I'm a huge Red Mage fan. It's my favorite class in Final Fantasy because they are the doers of all, the masters of none. They are perfectly sufficient for any type of situation out there, and they are just perfectly ready for anything and everything that comes their way. Mega Man, in my opinion, is a Red Mage, because as long as he absorbs the power, he has something to counteract whatever it is that comes at him. It's not going to be as powerful as the initial, like, robot's weapon, but it is going to be worthy in order to use for a situation. Plus, then he can switch between things at will and use them in combination. Eevee, to me, does this because of its ability to transform into Flareon, Vaporeon, Jolteon. I'm a Gen 1 person, so I know those. Espeon and Umbreon, and then I know Leafeon, Glaceon, and I know there's a ton of other ones out there. If I were to have an Eevee, I would want, because it's my imagination, I can do these things, I would want the Eevee to have the ability to de-evolve during a battle, and have me give it the ability to evolve into one of its other forms. Because if you're fighting something grass type, you can switch it, boom, right to Flareon. It may not be the best fire Pokemon out there, but its stat increase is enough to be able to get me to where I need to get to. Plus, then, worst case scenario, I could swap it out to something else, Psychic type, Dark type, or anything along that ways. And it just kind of switches from there. So, Eevee, hands down, my favorite Pokemon in the entire Pokemon series because of its ability to go into all these different things. I mean, I had a Eevee team at one point. And even as a normal Pokemon, Eevee's good. So, there you go. Thank you, Mr. Beard. Alrighty then, next one from the hat happens to be a guy who Game 00 asked me this question, or these questions. I don't remember if you asked me more than one or whatnot, but let's go find out. Okay, so he went with multiple questions as well. What is your favorite console, and what is your favorite game, and a game that you have for said console? Alright, so that's 3 things right now. I'm going to knock out the middle one, and because favorite game, too many to count. Too many to count. But I can take your first and third question and narrow it down that way. So, number 1, what is your favorite console? The Nintendo GameCube. I know, weird, right? But I love the GameCube. The GameCube has so many underrated games to it. It has so many amazing RPG games on it that most people don't know about. And like something like Baten Kaitos. Have you ever played that game? That game is phenomenal. And you can find that only on the GameCube. But to answer your third one, a game you have for said console that would be my favorite game for said console is Skies of Arcadia Legends, something that I will be playing on my channel at some point. I have beaten this game, God, a dozen times, like legitly, like no joke, I'm not even making up that number, from beginning to end, from starting a new game to completion of the main story. I had to have beaten this game a dozen times or so. It is so good. You're an air pirate, you're finding all of these different discoveries throughout the map, you're doing this really amazing story through all of these different worlds. It's so good. The characters are amazing and engaging, and there's all these different people that you find and everything. It is, I can't say enough good about this game. Yes, it was originally released for the Sega Dreamcast, but my first experience with Skies of Arcadia was Legends for the GameCube. It has more in it than the Dreamcast version, but it's just so good. If you don't know anything about the game, I highly recommend you guys go looking it up and everything. if you have the ability to play it. You won't be disappointed, or just hang around until I play it on my channel at some point. So, thank you, man. I appreciate the question. Keep up those awesome speedruns, by the way. Looking forward to Contra. Number 11. Let's go. Neon Genesis, one of my newest friends that I've made on YouTube within the past month or so and everything. He has sent me this question, or series of questions. Again, I don't remember if it's one or multiple. So, one simple question for my Q&A. Have you got any big plans for your channel? I mean, it's a definition of big plans, I guess you could say. But as far as stuff that's coming out, I am going to be releasing Dead Space probably the week that this goes up. That's at least the goal and everything. This should go up on Sunday, January the 3rd. That should be the date that this is released. So Dead Space will start Tuesday, January the 5th, and that'll run Tuesdays and Thursdays. I will be having Sly Cooper start either the 11th or 18th of January, depending on how Triforce Heroes goes. And after those two are proceeded through and everything, I don't know what I'm going to do after that. I just went through a whole rant on how, or not a rant, gushing over how much I love Skies of Arcadia, but then again, I also love playing Shadow Hearts, which is another absolutely amazing RPG that a lot of you know that I have, and I think look forward to me playing. So, after those two are done, will I probably go into another RPG game? Probably, because I love them so much, and I do enjoy doing them for you guys. Will I play Battle Network 3? As I mentioned in one of my earlier questions, I'd like to do that as well. Maybe make a whole Game Boy Advance thing and whatnot. And then there's the sequels galore. I want to do Kingdom Hearts 2. I want to do Paper Mario 2. Just so many ideas in my head about what I want to do. It's a matter of organizing them and figuring out the best plan, because I have a habit of overloading myself, and then it becomes stressful not only on me and my channel, but also my real life as well. So taking it slow, taking it one thing at a time and everything is the best plan that I have for my channel in the future. New stuff, Dead Space, Sly Cooper, all starting in January, and I know you guys will really enjoy that. So thank you, my friend, and I hope you enjoyed them as well. So here we go. Next guy, or person, or individual who asked me a question, pulling the next one from the hat, is Voldemort? V for Voldemort? Is that it? Oh, who shall not be named? V for Voldemort asks, favorite boss from the whole Mega Man and why? And he laughs about that. You laugh about that now, but I just did an entire run of Mega Man 1 through 8 of my favorite bosses. So, I answered your question beforehand. Did you have a Game Boy Color, and what color? Yes, I did actually. I had the teal one. I had an original brick Game Boy. I had a teal Game Boy Color, which I distinctly remember buying from Toys R Us. I don't know why I remember specifically buying it from there, but that was the first Game Boy Color Game Boy Color system that I had. I'm pretty sure I had a yellow one at one point too, because I ended up breaking my teal one. I had a bad habit of getting very frustrated with the game and then punching it, so I really remember breaking the screen at one point. Sorry, anger issues. It happens. That's why I have. We're gonna do a little bit of a shift here. That's why I have that punching bag right there, and it does also come with like a little punching thingy up there as well. That is so I do not break any more of my controllers. So if I get ever really frustrated, that's where I go take my anger and frustration out on and everything. It worked really well for Retro Rage Play. But yes, so I had a teal Game Boy Color. I'm pretty sure I had a yellow one after that, but not for long because that got upgraded to a Game Boy Advance really quickly. So there you go, V for Voldemort. Thank you very much. V Voldemort. I apologize. And finally, we answer the question for number 13. Should be catharsis. Yep, I got your question. You're throwing in there. Welcome back to the world of YouTube, sis. Glad to have you back. Glad that you're putting out your stuff as well. So, let's see what your questions happen to be. Alright, my dear, let's see what questions you have. Number 1. Do you think Cloud Sword is for compensation? Final Fantasy related question, and a very interesting one to think about, I might say. Yes. I mean, let's think about this for a second. Cloud is part of Soldier, and Soldier gets dipped in the Mako. As far as I'm concerned, Mako is like the Final Fantasy VII version of steroids. And if anybody out there knows what happens when you take steroids, you may get all buff and bulky and angry and whatnot, but you kind of lose various shrinkages in other forms of the body. You know, things get smaller and smaller the more you go. And steroids get injected into your body here in the real world. In Final Fantasy, you literally get dipped into a vat of steroids. So I'm pretty sure the word sterilization comes from that. So he's always been a fan of his girth. Which is probably why Sephiroth is a fan of his length. Probably why Zack was a fan of girth. You know, it all makes sense as you go through it all. That's just it's all a theory, a shrinkage theory. And number 2, what's the hardest thing you've encountered so far with giving informational gameplay / walkthroughs? Honestly, the hardest thing that I have to worry about in terms of doing that type of playthrough style is making sure my information is correct. And with the internet being so vast and so many people with different opinions and people saying this works, no this works, no this works, no this works, it's hard to sometimes find a definitive answer to how something works or why something works. And for me, that's my hardest problem, because I want to give you guys the most accurate information possible. Because it's like, I want you guys to know this is the best way to do it. You can do it a jillion other different ways, but this is the best way I found to achieve the absolute best result. Like, for example, in Kingdom Hearts, playing through the Winnie the Pooh minigames, there are certain scores that you have to hit in order to achieve the best result. And I wanted to know what those results were to tell you guys, to show you what you need to strive for or would like to strive for whenever you play. So it's just making sure that I'm right, or as right as I possibly can be. Because giving you guys false information, that's not right. I can't do that. But if I can show you guys a truth, even if I miss a few of them, then it's all worth it. You know, educating you guys and having you guys learn step by step how to play. So thank you so much, sis, for your questions. I like them both. They were really good questions and a really good way for me to end this Q&A on. So there you go, everybody. That was my 200 subscriber Q&A video. I had a lot of fun going through each and every one of those questions. I hope that my answers to you guys were not only satisfactory, but maybe taught you something a little bit more about me, or at least the way that my mind works and whatnot. And thank you again to every single one of you for asking me those questions. I have been recording for over an hour and 10 minutes now, so this will probably be broken up into a few different segments, so you guys can go ahead and watch either the one that you asked your particular question on, or you can just watch them all from beginning to end. They will be released probably within a half hour of each other, and anybody that has asked me a question will be down in the description below. And I'm not just going to break that up from episode to episode. They will all be in each one of the segments that I choose to make this, because I don't know if I'm going to be able to do this in 2 or I'm going to be able to do it in 3. We'll find out. Well, I'll find out. And it'll be a surprise for you guys, so yay! So I'm really bad at ending videos like this because I end up just kind of rambling on over and over again. So, as with my outro through all of my other videos, thank you all so much for watching. Be sure to rate and comment down below, and if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button so you can get equipped with me, Metal Blade 427. See, it's a Metal Blade. Metal Blade, right by my nipple. My nipple blade, apparently, is what that is. There you go. Ah, weirdness. Thank you all again for those that asked me questions for this special Q&A video. I'll probably do another Q&A around 400 because I have different ideas for different milestones and everything. And for those new to your channel, be sure to go around and check out anything that you find interesting. I have a whole bunch of different Let's Plays on my channel, ranging from simple games like the Mega Man Battle Network or the classic runs, to horror games like Five Nights at Freddy's, Resident Evil 4, Dead Space is coming out, Sly Cooper's coming out. I have a whole different genre of things. It's not just Mega Man, but it's all based around education and learning how to play a game and just different tips and strategies and where to find things and everything, and to be as entertaining as possible. So thank you all once again. You guys have a good one. Happy New Year. Welcome 2016, and I will catch you all later.